electric two-wheelers or three-wheelers. Now, the government has announced a new subsidy scheme which is not called FAME for a change, but new e-mobility scheme that is likely to make two-wheelers and three-wheelers cheaper come April. The scheme will be made operational on 1st of April. It will carry on for 4 months, where you can buy a two-wheeler and three-wheeler electric vehicle cheaper from 1st of April. This is not FAME scheme, but 500 crore rupees allocation, a similar what we were expecting for FAME 3, but a name change perhaps.
That's right. So, pretty much I would not even call it FAME 3, because FAME 3 was expected to include four-wheelers also in its fray. So, I would say it's pretty much an extension of FAME 2 with just a new name, but pretty much the same expected allocation of 500 crore rupees. Remember, FAME 2 had an allocation of 10,000 crore rupees, and there was still some money left in that FAME 2 scheme, and that is perhaps now being diverted into this new e-mobility scheme, which is going to kick off for a period of 4 months starting 1st of April until 31st of July, applicable only on two-wheelers and three-wheelers. Remember, the industry was always fighting for the FAME subsidy scheme to continue. We had seen some results, positive results coming by way of FAME 2, and we saw the uptake in two-wheelers and three-wheelers and consumers really opting to buy them because of the deep discount that the subsidy scheme was giving them. It was directly cash discount being transferred to customers. It seems that even this 500 crore rupee outlay for a period of 4 months is going to be a similar scheme where the end consumer is going to be the beneficiary, and by virtue of the end consumer wanting to buy more scooters or buy more three-wheelers as the case may be, the companies which are manufacturing these and are still eligible to avail of the subsidy. Remember, out of I think 11 or 12 companies, there were only 7 after the controversy of discounts and chargers being sold separately, etc., had surfaced last year. You only had about 7 companies, 6 to 7 companies which are eligible. I think that list of 6 or 7 companies is going to stay intact,
right.
And it is obviously, it is something which is adding that extended momentum or the recharge to electric mobility taking off in India, but nothing yet for the four-wheelers except for obviously the income tax discount that you get by virtue of
three-wheeler, those who are looking to buy a three-wheeler, it's going to be about 25,000 cheaper, and a two-wheeler is going to be about 10,000 rupee cheaper as per the new e-mobility scheme. Just about a couple of days ago, when the data on automobile had come out, we were discussing here on the show as to what is the current penetration of EV like. It's very interesting to point out nearly half of three-wheelers operational in India are electric, but only about 5% of all the two-wheelers are actually electric. So the penetration of electric vehicles in two-wheelers needs more impetus.
No, absolutely it does. But I think, for public mobility, for public transport, there is always a better way and easier way to enhance your overall contribution of electric mobility. So, I think the closest example one can draw could be when the whole migration of three-wheelers happened from diesel to CNG. So, because there is a government push, and even the buses for that matter, all buses plying in Delhi, I remember in the year 2000, 2001, if I'm not mistaken, there was this complete sea change from diesel buses to CNG-enabled buses to cut down pollution. So, I think when there is public mobility we are talking about, and three-wheelers largely fall in that category, these are large institutional bulk orders, and the migration from A technology to B technology is much faster than it is for personal private mobility. But I think by way of two-wheelers in general being more affordable by a larger section of society, we are seeing at least a number tick up to about 5%. The number is much lower in the case of four-wheelers. And the debate now is whether electric mobility is actually the most sustainable means to cut down on our both our oil import bill as well as our carbon emissions is another all new debate. So whether a FAME 3 alike subsidy will come for four-wheelers, and will the government really want to push for four-wheelers being deep discounted, we really don't know yet. And whether it will be EV, whether it will be hybrid, whether it will be both or none, there is always a little bit of confusion, because the lobbies of automakers are also so strong on both ends of it that the government is going to feel under pressure to decide on either or here.
Right, but we're still awaiting any news on FAME 3. Perhaps there will be some subsidy in offering for four-wheelers as well, which is where we need more thrust going forward. Remember, penetration for four-wheelers just under 2 to 3%. Need more four-wheelers on the roads at this point, but e-mobility scheme is going to make it cheaper for you to own an electric two-wheeler from April 1st. Just about 10,000 rupees, but any saving is good saving.